Welcome to Science Easy Tech channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about carbohydrates. This video will be helpful for BSc Nursing students, post-basic BSc Nursing students and also students who are studying subjects related to nutrition and dietetics. Before moving on to the topic, if you are new to Science Easy Tech channel, just take a moment to subscribe our channel and also to press the notification bell icon in order to get connected with our latest updates. Let's move on to the topic, carbohydrates. So in this part 1 video, I am going to discuss about introduction to carbohydrates as well as classification of carbohydrates, whereas the functions, sources, everything will be discussed in my part 2 video. So what is carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the chief source of energy in human beings. So carbohydrates are present mostly in plants. How these carbohydrates are formed in plants? The carbohydrates will be taking atmospheric carbon dioxide. So we all know that plants intake carbon dioxide, whereas human beings intake oxygen. Okay, so plants will be intaking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by the process of photosynthesis, and they will be exhaling what? They will be exhaling oxygen. So by this process it will be producing carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is the chief source of energy for maintaining the body functions. Our brain will be taking only carbohydrates for energy. Okay, so our body will be taking only carbohydrates as energy source, even though we are having proteins, even though we are having fats, which are also macronutrients, which are also giving energy, but our body will be recognizing only carbohydrate as the chief source of energy. Whenever we are not taking carbohydrates, that time only our body will be intaking proteins and fats for the utilization of energy. So energy comes from mainly carbohydrate, protein and fat, and out of that also the chief source of energy is carbohydrates. Next we will see the composition of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, the general formula is CnH2nOn, or we can tell that the basic formula is CH2O, and the N is, the numbers may vary depending on, for glucose it is varying, for sucrose it varies, like that it varies. So here the carbohydrates contain carbon with hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen and oxygen is going to be the same proportion as in water, that is CH2O. Water, what is the formula? H2O. Next we will see the classification of carbohydrates. So depending on the sugar molecules, that is saccharide means sugar. Okay, the sugar group what is present. Carbohydrates are classified as simple carbohydrates, then complex carbohydrates. Under the simple carbohydrates you have monosaccharides and disaccharides. Monosaccharides means it contains only single sugar molecule, or in disaccharides you have double sugar molecules. And in complex carbohydrates, which includes starch, glycogen and fibers, which contains many sugar molecules. So the classification of carbohydrates can be schematically represented as carbohydrates you have simple, complex. Under simple you have monosaccharides and disaccharides. Under monosaccharides you have glucose, fructose, galactose. Under disaccharides you have maltose, lactose and sucrose. Next moving on to complex. So under complex carbohydrates you have polysaccharides, which contains more amount of sugar molecules. So under this you have starches, fiber and glycogen. Starches, fibers and glycogen. Next we will see simple carbohydrates. So under simple carbohydrates you have monosaccharides. Monosaccharides means, already I have told, this contains only single sugar molecules. So it is the simplest form of carbohydrate. So whatever complex disaccharides if you are going to take, or if you are going to take polysaccharides like starch, whatever you are going to take, the final end product in your body is going to be a monosaccharide. So the monosaccharide, they contain, suppose if it contains 2 carbon atoms it is called as biose. If it contains 3 carbon atoms it is called as triose. If it contains 4 carbon atoms it is called tetroses. If it contains 5 carbon atoms it is called pentoses. And if it contains 6 carbon atoms it is contained hexoses. So biose. So biose means C2H4O2. I told the basic formula is CH2O, so you have to multiply accordingly. So C2H4O2, example is glycolic aldehyde. Triose C3H6 O3. Example, glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone. So this occurs in plant and animal tissues in small amounts. This thioses will be occurring in plant and animal tissues in small amounts, and they are derived from the breakdown of glucose. So they are formed from the breakdown of glucose. Next is tetroses. So this tetroses C4H8O4. So example, C4H8O4 here. Example is erythrose and threose. Pentoses C5H10O5. Example is arabinose, xylose, ribose and deoxyribose. This ribose and deoxyribose is present in DNA and RNA. Then hexoses. Hexoses C6H12O6. They are further subdivided into two groups. That is aldose group containing aldoses or sugars which containing aldehyde group. Next ketoses. Ketoses or sugars which containing a ketone group. So under aldehyde group you have glucose, galactose and mannose. Under ketone group you have fructose. Next, moving on to glucose. So this glucose is otherwise called as grape sugar or dextrose. So it is the main source of energy. It is the end product of digestion of carbohydrates. So it is found in nature. It is found in sweet fruits such as grapes, berries, oranges, in vegetables like sweet corn and carrots. But it is less sweeter than sugarcane. It is less sweeter than sugarcane. So it is the end product of digestion of disaccharides and polysaccharides, and it is the present as glucose in the blood. It is circulated in the blood as glucose. Okay, the carbohydrate which is present in the blood is glucose. Next is fructose. Fructose means levulose or fruit sugar. So it is much sweeter than cane sugar. It is found in honey as well as ripened fruits. See, when you have seen in fruits like mango and all, as it gets riper, the fruit becomes sweeter. Okay, so that is because of fructose sugar. So it is also a product of the hydrolysis of sucrose. Next is galactose. Galactose does not occur in the free state but occurs as a constituent along with lactose. It occurs, galactose occurs in the milk. Next is disaccharides. So disaccharides, they are when two monosaccharides are combined together, it forms what? Disaccharides. So example, sucrose, maltose, lactose. So sucrose. Sucrose is present in sugarcane, that is cane sugar. It is also present in beet sugar as well as table sugar, means edible sugar. What you are using for coffee, preparing sweets and all, what we are using daily in our kitchen. So that is table sugar. So it occurs in sugarcane 10 to 12% and beetroot 12 to 18% in the intestine. Sucrose is broken down into glucose plus fructose. So how this sucrose is broken down into glucose and fructose on hydrolysis in the presence of enzyme. What enzyme is present? Sucrase is present. So sucrose undergoes hydrolysis in the presence of sucrase enzyme to give glucose and fructose. Where this sucrase enzyme is present? This sucrase enzyme is present in the intestine. This sucrase enzyme is present in the intestinal juices. Next is lactose, which is called as milk sugar. It occurs in the milk of mammals, that is cow's milk contains 4% of lactose. Human milk contains 7% of lactose. So lactose on hydrolysis in the presence of lactase enzyme which is present in the intestinal juices gives glucose plus galactose. I told galactose will not occur in free state. It occurs along with the lactose. So lactose in the presence of lactase on hydrolysis gives glucose plus galactose. So whenever the some children will have deficiency in lactase enzyme, so they will not be able to utilize this lactose milk sugar. So that type is called as lactose intolerance. Sorry, it is lactose intolerance. So lactose intolerance means the will be deficiency in the lactase enzyme. So for such type of children, you may not be able to give cow's milk, you may not be able to give buffalo milk, or you may not be able to give human milk. So or milk powders also, commercially available lactogens also you cannot give. So what you have to do, you have to give soya milk protein. Okay, soya powder you have to do, and you have to give that soya milk for these children. So lactose in the presence of lactase enzyme on hydrolysis gives glucose plus galactose. Next we will see maltose or malt sugar. This is found in all sprouted and malted products. So it is an intermediate product formed in the process of conversion of starch into glucose. So this, when starch is converted to glucose, that time the next step, immediately the starch will not be converted to glucose. So the next step, it will be converted to maltose also sometimes. So this sprouted cereals and beer, what we are drinking, beers, many are drinking beer, no? So that and all is what? That and all is by means of maltose, which contains a large amount of maltose. So maltose on hydrolyzes in the presence of maltase enzyme. Where this maltase enzyme is there? Again in the intestinal juices. So will give glucose plus glucose. Two glucose molecules will be produced. So this is with regard to maltose. Next we have seen monosaccharides and disaccharides. Now we will move on to polysaccharides or complex carbohydrates. So they are complex substances because they contain more amount of glucose molecules which are linked together. So under this polysaccharides you have starch and glycogen. So starch and glycogen more or less same only, but the glucose molecule will be, the linkage of glucose molecule will be varying between each other. That is, starch will have a different bonding with that of glucose compared to that of glycogen. So the structural formula is C6H10O5 whole you have to do with n. So here n is more than 2, so you have to multiply the things. So you have so much of glucose molecules, so much of monosaccharide molecules. Next, moving on to starch. Starch, it is a long, straight or branched chain of hundreds of glucose units together. That's why when you are breaking the starch, so whatever we are, food and all we are eating, no, rice, it contains so much of starch. So at the end you are getting too much of the glycemic index, the glucose is more in that thing. So the important sources of starches are cereals and millets, where 65 to 85% are from cereals, that is rice, whatever we are taking. Okay, then cereals and millets. Roots and tubers like potato, tapioca, or sweet potato, like that and all, no, that's roots and tubers will contain 19 to 35%. Starch is a polysaccharide which is found in nature, which is formed in nature by the condensation of 4,000 to 15,000 glucose molecules. On condensation will give a compact starch molecule. Okay, so it consists of a mixture of two components called amylose and amylopectin. The starch is the storage form of carbohydrate. The starch is the storage form of carbohydrate in plants. Okay, in animals it is stored as glycogen, we know, but in plants starch is the storage form of carbohydrate. So cooking, when you are cooking, no, the starch will be facilitated for digestion by means of cooking. The starch will easily gets digested by means of cooking. Boiling causes swelling of the starch. That's why rice, no, when you are boiling it will become swollen. Have you seen it? So how the rice is, once we have cooked means it becomes swollen. So that is because of starch. So boiling causes swelling of starch granules and a rupture of the cell walls, allowing for better digestion. The enzyme amylase present, that is salivary amylase. What is the other name for salivary amylase? Yes, it is ptyalin. Ptyalin or salivary amylase, which is present in the salivary and pancreatic juices, converts starch into maltose, which is subsequently broken down into glucose and it will be absorbed by the body. Next, dextrin. Dextrin, it is not found directly in nature. They are polysaccharides formed by the partial hydrolysis of starch. When starch gets partially hydrolyzed by acids or amylase, this dextrin is formed. This dextrin is also made up of a large number of glucose molecules. Then moving on to glycogen. It is made up of so many chains of glucose which are more highly branched. Compared to starch, these are more highly branched molecules of glucose. So this starch is stored as the carbohydrate is stored as starch in plants, whereas in animals the carbohydrates, the excess glucose is stored as glycogen in the liver in human beings. Okay, so it is formed by the condensation of large number of 5,000 to 10,000 of glucose molecules. So when required by the body, this glycogen is converted to glucose to give energy. Suppose if morning if I am not eating also, I am not going to lose my stamina. Why? Because the whatever has been stored in my liver, that will be first broken down. Okay, and it will give glucose. energy. Even if everything has been completed, whatever the storage form of glycogen also has been completed for the body as glucose, that time only next fat will be broken down, and after fat broken down, then protein will broken down to give energy. So once glucose is there, nothing, fat will be acting as an insulator, protein will be acting for growth and repair of body tissues, and only carbohydrates will be giving energy whenever the person is taking carbohydrate. This is the scenario. Hope this video is clear for you all. If you still have any doubts, feel free to post your doubts in comment section. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up, share, subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel. My previous videos link I have given in description box. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. And still, if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in comment section. Keep supporting to Science Easy Tech channel.